Hello, and welcome to the Bold Leadership Story Show, where we talk about the experiences shaping exceptional lives. And today's episode, I have Bridgette Moore, and Bridgette's in Wildomar. Bridgette is an incredibly active participant in the community, and I'm excited to have her on the show today. Welcome, Bridgette.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Jim, for having me.
Yeah, yeah, this is great. I love the background that you have on. Did you have that done? Somebody local do that for you, or did you
So
do it
our
yourself?
economic development, yes, our economic development director, Kimberly Davison, made these backgrounds for us to use.
Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. I really love it. It pulls the spirit of the city into the picture there, the Western theme. I love that.
Yes,
So how long have you been in the Wildomar area? You guys have lived here, you and your family, your husband, Stewart, and your
yes,
son, Jake. You guys have
yes,
lived here for a long time. So
25
when did you move
years.
here?
Yeah, we moved here in 1998, so our son was one.
Wow.
He's like
Okay.
26. Yeah, so we lived here 25 years now.
That's fantastic. And I see you all the time on Facebook. I mean, if I want to know anything that's going on in Wildomar, it's like Bridgette's got the scoop. It's even like down to where the fire engines are going. It's really, really amazing. How do you stay so active and so, you've got a full-time job
Mhm.
working as the treasury manager for Impact Mortgage Holdings,
Yes,
and then you're also on the city council at Wildomar, and you're doing all kinds of work around in and around the city. How do you keep all that going? Plus, you have a family, right? You're doing all
yes.
that too. So
It's a
tell us your
lot.
secret.
It's a lot to juggle. I have been doing it now. I've been on the city council for 15 years, so I've learned to juggle quite a bit, but I enjoy it. And so I do thank God for giving me this energy and the will to do it. I think I'm doing what he would like to me to do. And so he keeps giving me the ideas and the energy to keep going forward.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's so inspiring to see how all of that comes together. I mean, you're really helping to pilot the awareness. And that's from my perspective. I could be wrong, but I'm seeing you as kind of a focal point for communications and for knowledge. And I saw an email come through. There was a list of things that your organization has accomplished. And see if I can pull that up. It was a very impressive list of items. Do you have that, by the way? It's
For my nonprofit,
Yeah.
is
Was
that
that
what
what that
you're
was
thinking of?
for? It was a list of like things that you guys have done. You've done in the city in the last, I don't know, 6 months or so. Just
Yes. So I back in 2019, I had the idea to start a nonprofit. There is some funding out there, so grant funding that the city can't receive because they're not a 501(c)(3).
okay. I didn't know that was part of your nonprofit work.
Right, right. So I've
Okay,
been on city
cool.
council 15 years, but then I wanted to start this nonprofit. So it's Wildomar Community and Parks Foundation.
Uh-huh.
And one of our programs is the Wildomar Beautification Volunteers. And so that kind of morphed into it. That actually started separately, but then we brought it underneath the nonprofit. So that has been taking off with a wonderful group of amazing volunteers that
Hmm.
go out and provide beautification projects in the city. So we have last year in 2022, we had 315 volunteers. But now, mind you, those volunteers go out all the time. We actually went out 350 days last year
Wow.
out of 365. So they're picking up litter and abating graffiti. And then we've also adopted 8 miles of the freeway.
So, okay. What does that mean? You've adopted 8 miles. How does one adopt the freeway? I've seen signs on the road when you're going by say adopted by, but what does that mean?
That is it. So it's Adopt a Highway program. Clean California is a new program that the governor has offered. He started it in, I believe, 2020 or 2021. And so we adopted our first segment, which was 4 miles. We do receive a stipend of $250 a month. to clean those first 4 miles. Our volunteers, you only have to clean it one time a month, but our wonderful volunteers go out about 3 times a week. And so when we saw the improvement and the difference they were making, they wanted to adopt more miles. So we adopted 2 more miles. That was our next segment. And then we've now just recently this week received approval for 2 more miles. So there's 12 miles total, 6 miles north and south in Wildomar. And then currently right now we have 8 miles adopted.
Wow, that's impressive. Just like, because I have one of those buttons to have the cheer go. I go, yay!
Yeah.
That's
So
fantastic.
there's
So
two,
go ahead.
there's 2 segments left, but those are already adopted. So unless that adopter would want to give up, you need to adopt for 5 years. So unless that adopter would like to give up their spot, then that's it. We'll just have our 8 miles because the other 2 segments are adopted.
So so you're out there you've adopted. What does that mean? What is it? I mean, if I adopt a child, I know that means I'm responsible for the child. So
Right.
what is it? What are the responsibilities for adopting a section of freeway?
So we do have to go out once a month. That's all they require. You take
So
your
go out. What does that mean? Go out, do what?
pick up litter. So we will put on our hard hat. You have to put a permit in your dash or copy of our permit on the dashboard. So in case CHP pulls over or Caltrans employee pulls over, then they see that we have a permit because this is your permit to grant you permission to go onto their property because this is Caltrans property.
Uh-huh.
So you have your permit, your hard hat, your goggles, your vest, your picker-upper, and then you go out and pick up litter in your segment. So from going southbound, they go by post miles. So southbound, we have post mile 18 to 16 because they go down when you go south. Northbound, we have from now 12 to 18 northbound. And so we have to go pick up litter once a month in our adopted area. You take before and after pictures and a picture of the bags, and then you submit those with the form that you fill out to receive reimbursement.
Okay. And that reimbursement goes to where?
Back into our nonprofit.
Okay.
Right?
And that nonprofit is Wildomar Community and Parks Foundation. Do you guys have a website?
We do. Yeah. It's Wildomar. WildomarCPF.com.
Wildomar CPS?
Yeah. CPF. Yeah. CommunityParksFoundation.com. So CPF.com. And then that's able to help us buy more supplies to keep the beautification program going.
Ah, there it is. Okay, I'm going to share that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So this is your website.
Yes.
And tell us about this. So you have events, you've got resources, you can come here to join us and volunteer. Yes,
we need more volunteers. So I really want to we're augmenting the city services. We're not trying to replace city staff. We, have received that comment before. Mm-hmm. We are not trying to get rid of any current events that's happening in the city of Wildomar. We love our events, but we want to augment. We want to provide additional parks and recreation events. We want to provide additional cleanups. We're like a friends of the city. And it really has morphed into that. We had a local teacher that was moving into Wildomar, and we get referrals. So a friend of mine referred this local teacher that was moving in July, the hot summer month.
Yeah.
And needed help unloading her truck because her husband is ill. And so she said, hey, can the volunteers come over and help? She just needs some help unloading the truck. So we did. We went over there and helped. And then we had a referral for a disabled veteran. And we had some rains, if you remember, about a month ago over the weekend. And so one of the trees in his front yard fell. And he can't get out there and chop it up. And so he was referred to us. And so we arrived on a Saturday morning, chopped up the tree, put it into a dump, and then the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, they actually paid for the dump fee since it was a veteran. And so we were able to clean up his property at no cost to him.
Excellent.
Yes. So National, you see right there on the screen, National Cleanup Day. That was the 16th, 2 weeks ago. And that was amazing. We had 120 volunteers.
Very
amazing.
Cool.
Yes.
So there's the flyer.
Yes.
And where do you guys publicize these?
So yeah, now that you're looking at it, I need to go update the calendar. Uh, I heavily post on Facebook. So we have Wildomar Beautification Volunteer page on Facebook, and we go out every Saturday. So we do a weekly project every Saturday.
Okay.
Right. So yes, this is
Excellent.
our board. So we
So
have,
you've got your blog. Yeah,
I need a
contact
blog.
us. So if
Yes.
you've got questions or you'd like to donate,
Yes.
you can use PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
goes right into our account.
Very cool. So wow, you are president of this nonprofit.
Yes.
And what was your inspiration for starting that? What was it that got your
So,
juices flowing to get this going? It's obviously had a lot of thought behind it, and you guys are really making a difference. It's exciting to see.
yes, I wanted to provide originally, I wanted to provide more parks and recreation. So one of my, you know, goals is to provide more parks and recreation for adults with special needs. You see the children with special needs, and we do add them on to our current events, and that's fine. It's inclusive, like we have special, excuse me, activities like at our ACON, and that's fine. But those children grow up to be adults, and they want to have their own interaction, they want to have their own events, and they want to be with their peers. And they need that recreation, that connection just as much as anyone else. And so we had at DeJong's Dairy, because one of our board members is Dana DeJong. We hosted a tour of the dairy with adults with special needs. So we had them there in walkers. They came in wheelchairs, however they need to come. And we were able to show them how the cows get milked and feed a baby cow, and that they were all with their peers. And then this Saturday, actually, so we partnered with the city of Wildomar for this Saturday's event, but it had to be postponed because it's supposed to rain Saturday. But we are one of the sponsors for the event. It's going to be a movie. So we're going to provide dinner, a movie in the park, photo booth, DJ, and we had to reschedule it to October 7th. But that's also for adults with special needs. So we are accomplishing that goal and providing more parks and recreation for that community.
Very, very good. Wow. You're also on the city council now, right?
Yes.
In
Yes.
Wildomar. So
Yes.
tell me about that. I'm going to pull up your profile on the Wildomar city site. And there's Bridgette.
Yep.
So what is it that you're doing now I'm trying to picture how you're dovetailing your efforts with the Wildomar Community and Parks Foundation, your nonprofit, and your work at the city. And how are you coordinating those and making sure that you're not, duplicating efforts or any of that?
Right. So I've been on city council for 15 years. I'll go back a little bit. So when we moved into Wildomar in 1998, our parks were open. And I'd take my son, he was one, I'd take him on the stroller and go down to the park.
Right.
A year later, the parks closed, and we weren't a city yet. So this is 1999 now. And so the parks closed. And I was like, I want the parks back. I had a 1-year-old. I wanted to take him to the park. That's one of the reasons we bought here, was to have this, these amenities and this country feel, because we moved from Huntington Beach. So we wanted that for our son. And so then I started volunteering. So back then we had a municipal advisory council, and that's who advised Supervisor Buster at the time, Riverside County Supervisor Buster, of what was happening in Wildomar. So I would attend those meetings and ask, how are we going to get the parks back open? I want the parks back open.
Okay.
And if you start asking, you get put on a committee.
Okay.
I had no idea. And so it's morphed since then. So I was put on the Wildomar Community and Parks Foundation, Parks. I think it was Wildomar Neighborhood Parks Foundation Committee. I forget the acronym now, to volunteer. So they had me start doing press releases. Had never done one before. Just start getting the community involved. How can we get our parks back? We set up tables on the corner of Wildomar Trail and Palomar, which back then was Central and Palomar, and have them sign paperwork, pledges that, we want to get these parks back up, and we put on a fair, raise money. So we did. So we didn't realize it would take so long, but it took 7 years, and we did get our parks back open. Meanwhile, cityhood was an idea. People were talking about should Wildomar incorporate. I was invited to attend a meeting. So it's Wildomar Incorporation now, WIN
Mhm.
committee. And I was on that committee for 5 years, trying to make Wildomar into a city. And we were able to vote in 2007. And then or it got moved to beginning, I think 2008, we voted, and then we became a city on July 1st, 2008. So it kind of just morphed. So back to, the question, I just wanted the parks back open. And it kind of just kept
Yeah, I
morphing
guess you got to
into
be careful what you ask for, huh?
it. Yeah, it too, more and
Wow.
more, but
Well, you've certainly taken the bull by the horns, so to speak, and taking all that to heart. And boy, you're sure making a difference. And Wildamar's growing like crazy now.
we are. So right now we have our biggest projects are the Kaiser Medical Office Building, which is being built off the Wildomar Trail and the freeway. You can see that
Uh-huh.
they're going to be done with the building part probably February 2024. And then it will be Kaiser will have to then staff it and do the inside work.
Mhm.
But it'll still be early 2024. They hope to get that open. And then the Inland Valley Medical Center, which is our only trauma center south of Riverside City, that's a $333 million expansion to our
Yeah, that's
community.
huge. You see that going up
Yeah,
next to the freeway. It's like, wow. I could see
investment in our
them
community.
building it up. It's been, it's like amazing how you see it starting to happen, and it
Yes.
seems like it takes forever. And then you go by, a week goes by, and boom, the building's there.
Um, yeah, it's amazing. And we need it like yesterday. Any of the car crashes, the accidents on the freeway, anything trauma comes to Wildomar.
Yeah.
And so this hospital is constantly busy and we need this yesterday. We need more
Yeah.
rooms. Yeah. So that though is not going to open until 25,
Okay.
26.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember going there. I've had a couple of occasions to visit, and the first time it was a long time ago, but I spent quite it seemed like forever, but it was probably maybe an hour. Uh, sitting out in the hallway because there was no rooms, in my
Yep.
gown with
Yep.
wagon in
Exactly.
the breeze, and wow, it was like, but you know what? It worked. You got the job done, and it seems to muddle through. But I
Yes.
agree. It's certainly a needed resource for us as we
We
grow.
need it. Definitely.
What's the next exciting thing? What's going on? What's the vision for the city now? I mean, we've got all these major things happening, and I'm sure that everybody's been working on all of that. The infrastructure, all the roads going in. There's I'm sure new development, but the hospital's huge. The
You.
medical infrastructure. What's next?
So hopefully MSJC is going to Mount Sinai Central College is going to be building they call it a boutique campus over on Clint Keith. They currently own the land. So this would be actually kind of across from Inland Valley Drive where the hospital is. It's across and a little bit east. And right now it's just land. You can see it if you're driving on Clint Keith.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to do regenerative farming, which would tie into also the wineries. So that's what we're
Ah,
working on right
okay.
now. Nothing's approved, but this is the goal or what we're looking at right now.
That's exciting. So it's in
Yes,
kind of coordination with what the wineries want to do. So they'll be helping to educate the next generation of
farmers.
farmers. Yeah.
Yeah, we love that. Our local high school, Elsinore High School, is located in Wildomar. A lot of people call it Lake Elsinore. It's not. It's Elsinore High School. It's the oldest high school in this whole valley. So students
Mhm.
from Marietta and Temecula were bused into Wildomar. At the time, we weren't Wildomar, but they were bused into Elsinore High School. But the reason I say that is because they have an FFA and a 4-H program. And so this,
FFA. That's, if I remember right, that's Future Farmers of America.
yes. So they
Okay.
have that at the high school. And then they have this farm also. Just higher education in Wildomar would be fantastic. So that's something we're working on.
Beautiful. So
And yes,
Wildamar's still really focused on its roots.
we are. We do have our tradition. We do have Wildomar Historical Society. I know they've been trying to revamp and bring back more of the historical aspects to our community, which we will love. On my nonprofit side, another goal for that side is you see those boxes that are wrapped in other cities, like the utility boxes, but I like to see them wrapped with historical pictures, something like that. But again, it's not approved, it's just an idea. I come up with all these ideas, but you know, you have to get funding, you have to get approved. I have a great board, and so we have to just work through all that. But that was
Sure.
something I like to see.
So what if people want to get involved instead of, it's just like, what would they do if they wanted to, participate? Where would they go?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. So on the city side, we have Measure AA committee, we have Measure Z committee, Planning Commission, and of course, City Council. So for our elections next year, 2024, myself and Dustin Niggs, so I'm District 4 and Dustin Niggs District 2. So those two seats are up for election in 2024. And then in 2026, Districts 1, 3, and 5 will be up. So there's always that option. You can run for City Council. Each city council does then appoint a planning commissioner. So that's something that you can also apply for. And then Measure AA is our 1 cent sales tax, and that's an oversight committee. You can apply for that. Measure Z is our park funding. It's an oversight committee. You can apply for that. I certainly encourage all residents to attend the city council meetings. That's where we just give out tons of information. This is your city, but sometimes we don't have that very many residents in the audience. So we would love for them to attend, hear what's happening in your community, voice your opinion. You get 3 minutes, or you can have even donated time. You can get 6 minutes. So come to city council meetings, attend a Coffee with the City. So on the third Wednesday of the month, we have Coffee with the City. Elected to attend. We have a guest speaker. At the end, it's always a Q&A. We also have Coffee with the Mayor. So, and I've been going along with, so this year, our mayor is Joseph Moore. And so I've been attending with him. So again, ask questions. That's more relaxed, just coffee conversation, ask your questions. Then you can always certainly meet with any of the council members and see what's going on. We always need help at our events, setting up for this picnic in the park with the special needs. We definitely need help. We need help serving the food, just getting everyone into place, helping. Remember, these special needs may not walk as well, so we can assist them to their chair. So we always need volunteers at the events. Now, that's the city side. The nonprofit side, you can always join us if you have an idea, you want to bring something to the table, maybe you have a new program you'd like to start, let's talk about it. You can join the beautification. And even if you're like, well, I don't want to pick up trash, because that's not everyone's thing, maybe you don't want to. Well, we always need help at check-in. Can you come and check because we have waivers, of course. Can you be at check-in? Can you make sure everyone's signed the waiver? Can you, get their contact information or answer any questions, or just sometimes just answer my phone. It's ringing. Where do I meet? What time is it? Can I wear my shoes? Can I bring my kids? Just answer the questions, follow the Facebook page. Oh, yes, you can bring your children, wear closed-toe shoes. And so there's other ways to get involved too, if picking up trash is not what you want to do.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, there's always something to do. What would be say you're I don't know, maybe a business owner or a parent, and you're busy. Most people are just busy.
They are.
What are the benefits of being involved with the city or with a nonprofit in your community, that from your perspective?
Oh, connection. Humans crave connection. And this makes you connected to your community. And if you're connected to your community, it makes you feel good. You meet new friends. This group of amazing volunteers have become best friends. Like, I'll take Anna and Deb, for example. They live about a mile apart. Both live in Wildomar, never met before, met during the beautification. They're now best friends. And so you're going to and they have like similar lives, right? And they have no idea that this woman lived a mile apart from each other. So you're going to meet those friends. You're going to have those connections. It's going to add to your quality of life. Absolutely.
Add to your quality of life.
Yeah.
And boy, that's so important.
You want to give back to your community. You have civic pride. You want to feel that civic pride. And you come to a cleanup for 1 hour and you see you can make such a difference in 1 hour, and you still have the rest of your whole Saturday, to go do other things. Yeah. You'll feel good when you leave.
Yeah, I've been doing a little volunteering. I was up at the Santa Rosa Plateau during
Mhm.
the summer. They have a summer concert series,
Yes.
and I was helping out up there. And I because of my career, I was traveling all over the place. I really hadn't taken any time to do any of that. But now I got a little time. So instead
Mhm.
of watching TV, I get off the couch and I get up and I've been doing stuff. And and there's all kinds of fun things to do, or worthwhile. And it's like instant gratification.
Yep.
Where do you get that anymore?
Right.
Everything takes so long to get done. And when you're volunteering, you're like, you get something and you just got instant, like, yeah, that feels
Yeah.
great. And the friendships, I agree. It's really, really worthwhile.
And that's exactly what we feel. So being on city council, right, what you're saying about taking so long, oh my gosh. So if you come up with an idea and you let your city manager know, and it has to get a staff report, has to get on the agenda, it has to get on a agenda just to talk about it. And could it be on a future agenda? Then you have to get on the future agenda. Then you have to get a staff report. Then you have to get funding. And then it could be in the capital improvement project 10 years away. And so we can pull up like that veteran that we just helped in September.
Hmm.
It was about 3 hours. We pulled up, chopped the tree, did his weeds, put in some new mulch. One of the volunteers ran to the dollar store to remind you he can't water anything. Ran to the dollar store, got some fake flowers, but they're pretty, put them in because he had some vases out there, but nothing was in them. And
Hmm.
we left in 3 hours and we had revamped his front yard. And it was not a small front yard. And we totally made a difference in this gentleman. He was a veteran who served our country.
Uh-huh.
And now we were able to give back to him when he gave to us. In 3 hours and we're done. It was amazing. It's a great feeling.
Many hands make light work, as they say.
Exactly. We had about 10 volunteers that day, and it's so true. And so we've been getting more referrals for private residences because an elderly person, or even someone's not elderly, they see their backyard and they could go out and work for an hour in the hot sun, and then it's like, I don't even get anything done. I still
Yeah.
have to do all this other stuff. But 10 people come in with the appropriate equipment, weed
Hmm.
eaters and everything, and get it done.
Zip.
Yep.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
It's
We
done.
had another resident, elderly woman. She had went to rehab. She was gone from her house for a couple months. Came
Uh-huh.
back and everything was overgrown.
Yeah.
She contacted us. We went over to the front yard and backyard.
Beautiful. Well, see, those are the things that the community brings. It's like you're bringing together, people who are living here that without what you're doing and without that focus
Yeah.
wouldn't have the ability to do what they're doing. And so it's just so many kudos to you and your team and your staff
Thank you.
for helping out like that.
Thank you. So kind of back to your question about the overlapping, we'll see the city can't help our private residents. So they can't help
They
someone that,
can't. That's part of the
no,
the charter.
well, it's a gift of public funds. So they wouldn't be able to help a private residence. And plus, if we help one private residence, we'd have to help all private residents.
Okay,
We just
okay.
can't do it. But this is where the nonprofit can. So we
Ah,
can go in. I do have a letter that they signed that they're giving us permission to go on their property, right? We have not had any issues, but just so everyone's on the same page, you're allowing us permission to come onto your private property to clean, or do weeds, whatever you need to do.
hmm.
And so that's something that nonprofit can do. The city can't do it. So we're
Yeah,
not
this is
overlapping
to me,
there.
it's also another way, like for businesses, local businesses to participate, even if they can't do something physical, they can certainly donate.
And they do. We have great support. So for National Cleanup Day, Montague Brothers Coffee donated coffee. Don Poncho's donated breakfast burritos. Pam's Donut donated donuts. So yes, we have a support from our local community and our small businesses, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So they can give back and then get a little advertising, a little bit, and
Mhm.
it all works.
Yes, it does. And we just had, so the Elks Lodge, we were very fortunate. They gifted us a trailer.
Uh-huh.
So an enclosed trailer. So we had one of our volunteers is Dan Gonson. We were using his trailer, but it was open. And tools, those weed eaters can be $200-300.
Uh-huh.
So we would pull up with the trailer, all our tools are inside, but then what? We walk away. because we go off in different directions and clean up. So someone could just easily pull up and grab our stuff. Plus we have a generator, expensive items.
Sure.
And so it was very nice. We received a very nice trailer that we can have all our tools inside and safe.
Hmm.
And so you're saying about advertising, we did put our Montagues and Pams and all the people
Okay.
that are
So you're
supporting
putting
us.
some logos
We put
up on
stickers.
there.
Yes,
Okay.
we did. Seriously, Stickers in Wildomar made our stickers.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the one that's in the back behind you there?
No, this is just a logo right here.
Ah, okay.
Oh, you mean, I'm not sure what you're looking at.
Uh, yeah, just the Wildomar logo, City of
Oh,
Wildomar.
oh yes. We have our Wildomar Community Parks logo, our Wildomar Vacation Volunteers logo, and then we've also added our supporters, and plus we'll keep adding. We're not done. We have a big trailer.
Okay.
Support, we'll put your logo on
You got
there.
lots of space.
You have lots of space.
So very good. Um, well, what else what else are you working on? Anything else that's new that people would want to get involved with? Or any projects that you're particularly excited about?
Um,
We
I
about
don't,
covered it all, didn't we?
yeah, I want to say
That's enough. You got a lot going on.
we have a lot going on. I mean, on the city side, of course, our residents always want paving, which we are doing $4 million in paving this year. And because that is something we
Wow.
needed. Our roads did need paving. When we became a city in 2008, our roads hadn't just been repaved. It wasn't like we received grade A top roads from the county.
Hmm.
They already were in need of some paving. So we have a lot of paving to do, but this year we have allocated $4 million of paving. So
Wow.
that is something the residents wanted. We all wanted. We live here too, so we wanted
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So
And
that
so
resurfacing, it really makes
yes.
you're on
So
those roads a lot. So
right. And
having them nice is great.
some of the roads will receive the slurry seal, but some of the roads will be completely redone. Take payment taken out and complete road repair.
Mm.
So that's something exciting. Like I mentioned, the MSJC College, once we get some more information on that, we've been requesting from Caltrans. So Caltrans is responsible for the bridges, so Bundy Canyon, Wildomar Trail, Clinton Keith.
Hmm.
Now they did widen Clinton Keith. That was a few years ago, but we've been asking them to please put it in their capital improvement projects to widen Wildomar Trail, especially now since the Kaiser building's going in.
Yeah.
But it's little Wildomar trying to push the state. But we have been, we keep reminding them we need a little more trail widened. And then we would like that one first and then Bundy to be widened also.
Excellent. Yeah, that'll help. So, wow, our time goes by. Time goes by so quick. I have one more question. You got time for
Okay.
one more?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. I ask this of everybody on the show.
Okay.
It's basically taking a look at your whole life. What was the boldest leadership decision that you've made, and what were the consequences?
I think deciding to run for city council, I had in school, high school, I was not on the debate team. I was not in any sort of leadership role, even when I volunteered for 5 years on Wildomar Corporation now. And we knew that one day when we were going to vote for cityhood, that at the same time the ballot would be for those running for city council. I still was like, nope, not me. I'm not speaking in front of people. And even
Yeah.
today, I still get nervous. I mean, I feel like I'm better at it now than at the beginning, but I still feel my heart, start racing. So yeah, just deciding to go out there and run for city council. If you would ask me any time in my life, you'll be on city council one day, and then nope, not me.
Yeah.
And here I
Uh,
am 15 years later.
wow. Well, that's a big deal. I've thought about that as well. It's like what makes sense for me. I don't know.
I
It's
would,
just one of those
I
things.
recommend it.
You're running again. Your role is coming up for reelection in 2024, you said.
It is.
You're going to
So
run again?
I don't know. So I have to decide by next July. In one way I've done it'll be 16 years next year. We don't have term limits, although I feel like it is term limits because you have to run every 4 years. So you only get 4 years. So I feel like that in itself is term limits. But so in one way, I'm like, no, I've done. I started volunteering in year 2000, so that'll be 24 years because I started in with parks, trying to get our parks back in starting in 2000. So one way, I feel like I've done enough time, and now the nonprofit's really taking off, and I have so many ideas I want to do there.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I still work full time, so time is not unlimited. But then on the other hand, I also feel like, well, I don't know, I really like it. So I have a hard decision to make, but I have till July because July would be when you would pull papers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever your decision is, good luck with it. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'm sure whatever you decide to do will be the right thing for you. And
Thank you.
yeah, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. I encourage people to run. It is rewarding. Yes, it's hard, and yes, it's stressful because issues come up, and you really want Wildomar to be the best it can be. And I think everyone can do 1% better. Staff, city, myself. I do think we can all uh, do that 1%. So you do have that there, but I also think it is rewarding. You are able to help right here, your community, right here. So if someone needs something, this is a local government.
So just kind of wrap this up in what have been the biggest rewards for you for investing a huge part of your life into your community like you have?
So one definitely would be to get our parks back. I mean, to have a community with no parks, with our residents with no place to go, our children with no place to go play baseball, a picnic. I mean, it was sad. We
So that's
need
your
parks.
legacy in
Yeah,
some respects.
you need park. Every community needs park. Every state or city you go to, you're going to watch these great pictures of people having fun at the events. Where are they? At a park,
Right.
right? So at a public space. So getting our parks back was something important. I'm so glad it happened. It was a long history because they even went after that. We got the parks back. They actually closed one more time. Then we got them back. So they should be open forever now. But that was something. I remember so we have a cemetery in Wildomar, and it was going to be closed for a week for another reason. And a resident contacted me because she had a family member pass away, and she needed that family member to be buried that week, the week the cemetery is going to be closed. And I was like, okay. So I went to the city manager and I said, you can't make this resident. It's already hard enough that she has to, prepare for this burial. And then ask for a week. We just can't. And so they did allow the burial to happen. So I felt like I'll always remember that. I felt like I really, really impacted that family's lives.
Special. Well, I guess that's the benefits of community and relationships,
Yeah.
and being in a small town. I mean, you've got a voice.
Right. So some people don't want to come meet with us, come out, be connected, meet us. I all the time come to the meetings, come to the events. Or sometimes people say, oh, I saw you, but I don't want to say hi. No, come over and say hi. We want to meet everyone. We want to talk. We want to make that connection.
Very good. Well, thank you, Bridgette Moore.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Jim.
Yeah, we'll see you soon again.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Hang on a second. Stay there.
Okay.